Hello, I'm NBT and welcome back to the video. Today we're going to talk about Minecraft 1.13, the update Aquatic. This is the next update coming out for Minecraft on all platforms, and it's really exciting because we're coming towards the end of the snapshot season and starting to get into the release season. If you don't know, that's spring 2018. That's when Mojang has officially said the update is coming out, and although the update we've seen so far is pretty darn huge, it has 4 new mobs, it entirely changes the water system, it has underwater biomes, new underwater structures, all these huge different changes. They're also bringing in a bunch more features in the next few weeks, and in case you're curious as how we know this, we've either seen screenshots of them, they've directly said this is coming the update, and basically, even though the update's one of the biggest already, it gets even bigger than that, and I'm going to be talking about all the ways it gets bigger in today's videos. Hopefully you'd all enjoy this video talking about all the features that are going to be coming in 1.13 that we've seen or heard about in some form. Please do like this if you do like it, because it helps out the channel a lot, and lets know you are excited for the update Aquatic and all of these extra features. So with that said, let's get straight into the first, and I guess the lowest hanging fruit, because it's going to be Dolphins. If you don't know, Dolphins are one of the last mobs they're planning to add in this update. They've already added a hostile underwater mob, they've already added 2 friendly overwater mobs, but they've also want to add the dolphin to the game. The dolphin's going to help you find treasure if you go near them. You can like kind of tame them, you can actually ride the dolphin a little bit, like grab onto its tail. There's a lot of really great behavior, and we've even seen directly on Twitter from Maria Lemon about how they can jump from, place to place, and there's just so many great things they can do. They can even attack you if you anger them and stuff. Basically, dolphins are going to be one of the most interesting mobs in this update. I think they're one of the most hyped features in this update, and I think they've made them, because again, we've seen them, they've been developed this entire time. I think they're saving them till last, and boy, let me tell you, dolphins are going to be a great load of fun. So, as well as the dolphins and all the great things that come along with them, which again, I really think they're kind of holding up till later, I think we'll also see in the next few weeks the Phantom's brand new drop, because right now the Phantom just drops leather. Again, it's kind of a placeholder drop because they're really focusing on the Phantom mob itself. The drop is kind of a secondary thing, and although we've heard some rumors about what it might be, they've said they kind of want to have something that resets the insomnia timer. We don't know for sure what the Phantom drop will be, but it is going to be some form of new item, or at least some more interesting item than leather. Again, leather's such a placeholder drop, it's not a thing that's going to stick in the final release, so there is going to be real reasons to want to kill these guys, and it might be really, really wonderful. Again, we don't know entirely sure. They're really working on new blocks, new features, new items every week. Eventually they'll find one that will fit with the Phantom, and that's something you can expect in the next few weeks. Speaking of new items for new things, there's going to be a brand new type of loot just for the drowned, because the drowned, the drowned zombie, the underwater zombie, the aquatic zombie, if you will, is a really interesting mob because, again, exists underwater and they can throw tridents at you. So right now, the only benefit to killing them is they've got a really tiny chance of dropping a trident if you kill them, so, that's nice by itself. But what about the real drop for them? So they're going to bring in a brand new type of loot just for the drowned zombie, and that's something we're going to see in the coming weeks. Again, they haven't hinted anything about that besides there will be a loot item that isn't just rotten flesh and isn't the rare chance of something else, and honestly, that's good enough for me. So next up, we have a brand new type of treasure. Again, it's been hinted as a special treasure. It's been hinted as a marvelous treasure for the underwater depths that's going to be found in shipwrecks exclusively. So again, right now shipwrecks actually have buried treasure maps, and there's too many of them, so I assume they have like duplicate maps eventually, because there's so many shipwrecks, and they've only got like different types of loot that are mostly covered by other things, but they want to add a special treasure only found in shipwrecks. So to me, it seems like the logical choice, because again, the kind of theme of shipwrecks is that they were villagers that like rode a ship in the oceans and it crashed. The kind of theme to them is that they are all like things owned by villagers, so it seems like, oh yeah, trident makes sense, they all had tridents with them or something like that. It just, again, it adds up to me. Having the trident in there is a logical thing, but if it was as simple as the trident, they wouldn't say a brand new special treasure, because we already have the trident in the game. That's not really treasure. So exactly what will be in there, we don't know, but there is going to be a special treasure just for them. There's also going to be a special type of treasure. Again, they haven't said this is a new item or an existing one, but they said very cool treasure for buried treasure chests. They wanted to add another reward to find just inside them, because right now buried treasure chests are useful, but they're not necessarily worth the effort if you already have resources. They want to add something exclusively to them, so you want to go out, you want to find them, you want to explore, and there's even a chance you want to just find them by yourself, which is great. Again, adding more reasons to go near the surface, that's good stuff. That's a really wonderful feature in this update. So, how many types of new treasures that, by the way? I counted 4, assuming the dolphin doesn't have one too. There's lots of new items and tiny trinkets and stuff like that they want to add to the game. Some of them will be duplicates of existing items, but there's going to be at least 2 or 3 brand new items in this update to act as loot for those mobs. And given that loot for new structures can kind of vary, honestly, like think about mobs for exclusive loot. You've got stuff like the rabbit, which drops rabbit leather, which is functionally useless, but then you've also got the rabbit with the rabbit foot. You've got the, guardian, which will drop just fish sometimes. The definition of loot really seems to vary, but given that we're getting 3 or 4 types, some of these types of loot will be way more significant. More like the rabbit foot and less like the rabbit leather. More like, the prismarine shard and less like the raw fish you can find. So, yeah, that's something you can expect. We're going to see new items, maybe new food, maybe new anything like that. We don't know entirely. The only hint we've had is that the Phantoms drop will probably reset the Insomnia timer, which is pretty useful for the end. So they've also hinted they're going to add new advancements to the game. This only really matters for the PC version, but when they add new advancements to the PC, they've historically also added new achievements for the Xbox 360 in one version, so they might go ahead and do that for the Xbox One, for the Switch, and then for the Pocket Edition versions, because they all run with Xbox Live. So if you like Xbox Live achievements, then you'll probably be able to get more after this update. They also are going to allow NBT tags on crafting outputs, which seems like a small thing, but again, really useful for map makers and such. They're going to make some changes to combat, and although Jeb didn't directly say they were there, he said they were low-hanging fruit, so they're likely to be fixed. He's likely to balance bows so that there's not going to be knockback on the without pulling the bow back all the way. Basically, so you can't bow spam and expect knockback. That's likely to be fixed. Again, that's something he said was low-hanging fruit at least, and he also said that shields should disable when they're being used frequently. So expect a rebalance to the shield. I know that only matters to Java version users because it's only there, but also expect the bow to be slightly rebalanced in this update. Again, this is mostly talking about the Java version and the combat update, but again, it's just good news for the game in general. And also expect brand new types of terrain to be found in different types of oceans. So we expect to see, icebergs spawn in the coldest of oceans. We expect to see more stuff in the hot. We're going to see more and more differentiation between the cold and the hot oceans as time goes on. In the same way that we saw the coral reefs in the recent snapshots, we're going to see more and more of that stuff. So yeah, that is a summary on everything that we've heard so far that's going to be coming in the Aquatic update. I have to imagine this is the last list of stuff we'll see. Again, they might add some stuff along the way. Those new items leave some room for improvement. But the truth is there's so much in this update already. There's so much to be planned, and they're running out of time to do it. We're in the, the halfway through, the spring, halfway through March, which is the first month of spring. That means they have 2.5 months at the latest to get this done. And again, it seems much more likely they want to get it out before then. So they've got a lot of features to be done in not so much time. But that is the, the really exciting thing about this update. The fact that we already have so much and then already can see so much more. Again, Dolphins are the big thing, I feel like, for a lot of people. But even just the small things like the combat changes, even the small things like, oh, bringing exclusive treasures for all the features which are already exciting but would be much more exciting with the treasure, that's what gets me excited, and that is what is coming in the next update for Minecraft 1.13, the Aquatic update. I hope you did all enjoy this video. I hope it got you even more excited, because personally, I spent a lot of the time, well, at least a lot of my past day, just thinking about, the update coming out and like cool projects you can do with it, and yeah, I guess you can expect to see one of those, because I really want to do like a big, project/destruction stream when this update comes out, because it's been a while since I did one of those, and I'll do one to do with the oceans then. So make sure you stay subscribed with notifications turned on if you want to see that. If you don't like notifications on YouTube, or you just want to guarantee you see videos, or just see my thoughts outside of this and my trip to America, whatever, go to twitch.com/ibxtoycat or @ibxtoycat on Twitter, and you can follow me there. It gives you access to videos, all that other stuff that you might be on board with. It's the other half of YouTube, and if you want to see it, it's over at Twitter. That's also where we get a lot of these new species from, so if you want to see this, then it's all over there. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.